Investing is the first skill you need to learn. I heard a couple of people saying na dapat lahat ng tao matuto mag-trade. Dapat sa school pa lang, tinuturuan na yung mga bata mag-trade.
Do you agree?
No, that's dumb. Bakit? Kasi mataas yung risk eh. Pwede kang matalo eh. Okay? Pero ang kailangan malaman ng mga tao is ano yung mga types of markets that you can put your money in. Kailangan maintindihan nila ano yung bond market.
Yeah.
Maintindihan nila ano yung stock market. Saan mo pwede ilagay yung pera mo?
Paano yun? Para sa mga bago pa lang na hindi nga sanay na, nakaka-addict kasi siya eh. Nag-ubos ng pera, kaka-trade. Tapos wala namang nahita.
Okay, that's meron kaming solution dyan.
Okay.
Solution is number 1, kailangan may community ka para may taga-batok. Importante yun eh.
Oo.
You need to have a mentor or a coach.
Oo.
So that's where I come in eh.
Oo.
So, number 2, meron kaming tinatawag na sunog account. Sunog account, it's the same concept as I mentioned earlier na you have an account that you only transfer like $5, $10, $20. Kung ano lang yung risk mo per day,
ganun lang talaga.
yun lang i-trade mo.
Oo.
So para kapag nag-trade ka, tapos let's say natalo yun, naubos mo yun, may mas masang ka na siguro before you like, get funds again, tas mo i-deposito. So medyo na siya, mas medyo, mali na yata itong ginagawa ko.
Pero meron talagang mga tao na hindi rin pang trading. Meron ka mga nakilalang gano'n.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Ano yan? Ano yung mga taong hindi pang trading?
Okay, number 1 is kapag meron kang hinahabol na kailangan mong bayaran. Which I think a lot of people do. Okay? Like for example, meron kang utang
dami pang
na malaki.
loan.
May loan ka or nawalan ka ng trabaho or merong kailangan mo habulin yung tuition ng anak mo or something.
Di
And then
dapat.
you're gonna use trading for that. No, that's gonna mess you up. Okay?
So emergency savings are not for trading.
They are not for trading talaga. So yun yung mga unang-una. Number 2, yung mga oddly enough, yung medyo ma-pride na you're trying na sumikat ka somewhere.
Sa trading world?
Yeah. Or yung meron yung mga
cloud chaser din, ng mga
exactly,
traders.
yung mga gusto nila ma-perceive as talagang mayaman na
They're
something.
the god.
Yeah, exactly. So parang yung pa lang yung no man, you're missing the whole point of what it is.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's just you against the market eh. Walang sense yung ego eh. And the market might actually humble you.
Para sa mga taong may kapital pero walang oras para mag-trading, can they get you? Halimbawa ako, I like Coach Stan so much. Pwede bang siyang mag-trade for me? And how much yung ibabayad sa'yo ng tao pag ganun?
To me, hindi. Okay?
Ayaw mo,
pero,
hindi ka tumatanggap ng gano'n.
Hindi kami tumatanggap. Pero may mga ibang pwedeng gawin. Okay? So for example, kasi ako personally, dahil nga doon sa experience ko before, hindi na ako nag-manage ng funds.
Kasi nga medyo...
At saka, medyo nakaka-stress eh. Tapos at the same time, parang happy ka na.
Kahit sa asawa mo, hindi?
I manage the funds for both of us.
Ayun. Kahit gusto ka talaga na lumapit sa'yo, Coach Stan, 70% sa'yo, 30 lang sa akin. Manage
kasi
mo to.
I can get that from prop firms na eh.
Yeah.
Na wala pang
Ba't
stress.
ayaw mo sa tao?
Kasi kilala ko sila eh.
Okay.
Nakakaano siya eh. Yung parang you think about it eh. Pag natatalo, tapos minsan they text you, they message you, ano nangyari. Hindi nila mapipigilan yan eh.
Ayaw mo magkaroon ng samaan ng loob.
Oo. At saka yung tipong focused ka na nga sa market tapos you have that external pressure pa. Parang hindi na lang. Pero we did a couple of things na pwedeng gawin. Meron kasing tinatawag din na mga EAs or trading bots. Okay? So those are algorithms na automatic na nagtitrade.
Mga AI bot?
Yeah. Tapos yun, walang emosyon yun ha. So kumbaga talaga
pwede yung murahin.
Kung ano yung kung ano yung
pwede yung awayin.
Pwede awayin, walang takot yun. So we've been developing a couple of ones, doing a lot of researches, no. Meron kasing tinatawag ngayon na service, it's called copy trading. Okay? So it's exactly that. Pwede ka makibakas. So parang meron kang sarili mong account na nakapangalan sa'yo. Walang access doon yung trader.
Oo, ikaw lang.
Oo. Tapos yung trader, meron siyang tinatawag na parang, let's say, some sort of like a mother account na pwedeng, pag nag-trade siya, kung sino mga nakibaka sa kanya, automatic magkakaroon din ng trade sa kanila.
But are there people or parang firms na pwede mong i-hire para silang mag-trade for you?
Mga ano na yun eh, mga sobrang laki na ng capital requirement.
Hindi
mga hedge funds na yun eh.
Hindi sila mag-trade for people na kung ang ibibigay lang, halimbawa, 500K, 1 million, walang ganon.
Walang ganon.
Oh, sorry, be. Bonds ulit tayo.
Pwede yan sa copy trading. Pwede sa copy trading.
Yung gina-explain mo kanina.
Pwede sa copy trading kahit $100 lang, pwede kang kumopya. Pag may trade sila, kukopya lang dun sa account. Tapos nakascale yan. So for example, kung yung pera ng trader is $10,000, tapos yung pera mo, $1,000 lang, nakascale din yun. So for example, nag-trade ka ng malaki dito, it's just relative to 1,000. So maliit yung trade dito, hindi malaki yung risk. Meron kaming mga dinidevelop na mga bots, no, na automatic na nagtitrade.
Parang life will be easier if there's an app, no? Na parang may AI or chat GPT that can trade for you.
Exactly.
Utusan mo lang siya.
Yun nga
Na
yung
parang,
gusto
I'll
namin
give
gawin.
it- Oo.
Para hindi na rin ako napapagod. Kasi
Oo.
ayun, after 15 years of trading, parang minsan gusto mo na rin
Kaya
pumetics
yaman
sa
din kayo
konti.
doon. Para siyang Grab.
Right.
Kung ang Grab parang ride-hailing service, kayo trading service.
Parang gano'n. Oo.
Oo,
So may mga
oo.
gano'n. We've been doing a lot of research on it. No? Meron kami mga successful na.
Wow.
And we offer it dun sa community.
They can join the community
They
for
can join
them
the community
to know.
and check it out for themselves if they
Oo,
like it.
oo.
So, sali lang kayo ng PAFTI. Just search PAFTI, you'll find it.
Kanina nabanggit mo about gold trading.
Yeah.
Iniisip kasi, anong difference ng pag nag-trade ka sa gold dyan, pag bumili sila ng physical gold?
Pag bumili ka ng physical gold, that's good. Maganda yun eh. Pero ang hirap.
So, tatago.
Ang hirap, di ba?
Tsaka mahal.
At saka mahal. Mahirap, mahal. Tapos, ang hirap store, di ba? Tapos, hindi siya liquid. Ibig sabihin, if you want to cash it out, you have to look for a buyer.
Yeah.
So, medyo hassle siya. Okay siya i-hold long term. Now, whenever you're trading, ang tinatawag dyan ay contracts for differences. Okay? I'm gonna go a little bit technical. Okay? Ang tinitrade mo lang is a contract of gold. You're not trading gold per se. You're trading a contract of gold which is equal to the gold's price. So
Yeah.
sabihin natin, okay, bumili ako ng isang gold. Okay? So parang 1 troy ounce of gold. So I have a contract that says you have 1 troy ounce of gold. And the contract states na kung ano yung current price sa market, pwede ko to ibenta doon sa broker ulit. So let's say umakyat yung presyo ng gold, o edi tong gold ko, ibebenta ko sa'yo. Ililiquidate ng broker yon.
I have watched one of your videos. Sabi mo, gold is flying. Bakit? Ano explanation nun?
Okay, there's a lot of reasons no for it. Una, ang gold kasi hindi yan inflationary. Eh, ang pera, nagde-devaluate yan over time eh. So your 100 pesos will always be less in the future.
Yeah.
Diba? Matik yun, hindi na makakit yung presyo niya. It will always be less in the future. Ang gold, hindi siya nagde-devaluate. I mean, technically, bumababa yung presyo with supply and demand. Pero in essence, yung inflation, niya, hindi siya tinatamaan.
Talagang hindi tinatamaan. Maganda mag-invest sa gold.
Yes.
Oo.
Tapos, at the same time, kaya recently lumipad yung gold. Again, hindi tayo sigurado dito sa info na to, but this is how I perceive the market.
Ang tindi niya, especially last year hanggang ngayon.
Kasi China has been aggressively buying gold. Diba US has its dominance with the US dollar sa buong
Kasi
mundo.
tayo nagbenta tayo ng gold. Do you agree with that decision?
I agree with that decision kasi yun yung kailangan natin gawin. Speculatively, na syempre, ang daming nawala na value sa atin.
Bigyan natin ng context yung mga listeners and viewers natin tungkol dyan sa gold na yan. Gaano kadami yung gold na binenta ng Pilipinas during that
Oh,
time?
I don't have data right now.
Oo, pero
I forgot.
malaki.
Pero malaki. Naramdaman lang natin kasi pumalo yung presyo ng gold after eh. Okay?
After natin magbenta.
After natin magbenta. So medyo masakit yun.
So ano tayo dun? Talo tayo
Talo tayo.
dun.
Pero we needed to do that.
Because?
Kasi ang trabaho ng central bank ay balansihin yung ating dollar reserves.
Correct.
That time, medyo nadideplete na.
Oo, lumiliit.
Kapag lumiit yung dollar reserves natin, malaking problema sa ekonomiya natin yun. We're gonna have a problem with trade.
Yeah.
So the central bank has to do that. Nasa mandate nila, if this goes down to this level, we need to sell this much gold. So it's more...
Tactics yun.
Oo. Tapos naka-set in stone yun that they need to do that.
Oo.
So ngayon, nagbenta ng gold. After magbenta ng gold, bigla
Bumili.
lumipad yung presyo.
Oo. Na-replenish na ba natin yun?
Diba?
Is it now the perfect time for the Philippines to replenish that gold na binenta natin or hindi pa rin muna?
I can't say, but it's always a good time to buy gold. If it
Kahit,
dips,
kahit na mataas yung presyo?
kasi 10 years from now.
Always a good time to buy gold.
Kung long term pinag-usapan natin, yes, pwede.
Oo.
Pero kung yung tipong nagtitrade ka intraday
Hindi
or
rin.
a couple of weeks, no.
Anong difference ng gold is flying sa trading sa mga tulad ko na addict sa gold?
Ay, that's very good for you. Kasi lahat ng binili mo lumipad eh. Umakit talaga yung value
Kasi
nun
when I
eh.
started buying, parang nasa 1.5 per gram pa lang yata siya.
Oh, now it's what? Times 4?
9,500? But I mean, do you suggest para sa mga tulad kong walang alam sa trading?
Oo. Na physical gold?
Oo.
Okay lang yun.
Or
Basta extra
jewelries
money
na
yun,
gold?
Oo, okay yun.
Why? Kasi yung iba hindi nila iniisip eh. Meron ako mga nabasa on Reddit na jewelries daw are just jewelries. Kahit pa gold yan. Hindi daw dapat.
No, that's only for diamonds. Ang diamonds, hindi yan ginagamit ng central banks as reserve currency.
Oo.
So, ano lang yan eh. Kung mapapansin nyo, yung value ng diamonds, lagi siyang steady lang. Hindi nagbabago yan masyado. Pero ang gold, may actual demand ka for it. Ginagamit yan ng central banks as yun yung parang reserve money nila.
Oo.
Na let's say, war breaks out, magka-problema yung currencies nila, may gold sila to back it up. And I think that's also one of the reasons why gold has skyrocketed.
Dami bumibili ng gold.
Central banks have been buying gold,
Oo.
especially
Sabi mo
si
nga,
China.
China has
China
been
has been
hoarding.
aggressively buying gold.
Ang dami nilang pera.
Oo, kasi, di ba nagkaroon sila ng spat with the US? So, ang isa sa mga problema ng China is that marami silang biniling bonds ng US. So, actually, exposed sila sa US market. So, they want to decrease that.
Oh, yeah. Now
So,
I get it.
binabawasan nila exposure na yun.
Binabawasan nila yung talo nila.
Yung talo nila doon or basta yung mga US bonds, they're trying to release yung hold nila doon tapos nililipat nila sa gold.
So kung meron tayong mga viewers and listeners na addict sa diamond, you suggest buy gold na lang.
Well, I mean, if you like to collect it, why not? Di naman nagbabago yung value, no?
Ng diamond.
So don't use it as an investment.
You don't think of it as an investment.
It's more of a store of value, pwede. So,
panglaban lang sa inflation.
Pwede
Hindi
yun.
talaga siya sa investment.
Hindi talaga pa investment yun. Gold, pwede.
Kahit Japan gold or Saudi gold.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's still gold.
Sinabi mo sa content mo na stop trading gold for now. Meron ka sinabing ganun. Or we're
This
talking about trading, guys, not buying
not
gold
buying gold,
jewelry.
So, January, talagang pumalo yung value ng gold. Ang laki talaga nung inakyat niya. And
nagulat din kayo?
Nagulat kami. So, pag nag-increase yun ng ganong kalakas na price and followed by a quick drop, we call that pump and dump. So, it's very common in the market. Kapag nangyari yun, you have a very messy market afterwards. So, ang hirap kahit yung mga strategies that used to work for you before are unlikely to work during that time. So, kesa ipilit mo yung mga trade mo nung time, yung ganyang klaseng time, ipahinga mo muna. Lubayan mo muna si gold for a while. Balikan mo siya after a few months.
Ngayon, feeling mo hindi pa dapat.
Konti pa.
Anong risk pag sumasabay ka lang sa hype ng ibang traders?
You become the liquidity. Okay? So we have that term. Tandaan natin that when you're buying, someone needs to sell on the other side. Okay? And let's say may mga kumita na at gusto na nilang ibenta. When they sell, someone needs to buy on the other side. So kaya nangyayari yung mga ganong pump and dump, yung mga hype. So they normally hype the market na, uy, bakit ito? So a lot of retail people buy. So yung mga malalaking entities, they can sell na kasi may bibili na Pag nabenta nila, sila kumita, ang matatalo yung mga retail.
Anong dapat bantayan ngayon ng mga traders natin? Red flags.
Kung merong papasok, wala naman masyadong red flags. I would say, tignan mo muna kung gaano kalikot yung market. Kung gold, malikot yung market. Oil, malikot yung market. So, yung mga iwasan mo muna. Pero for the currencies naman, hindi naman ganong kalikot yan
Hindi masyado.
Hindi masyado. So,
ano yung kasing strong ng US dollar? Japanese yen,
Japanese yen at saka Swiss francs.
Oh, what's with Swiss francs? Bakit nga? Ang lakas din niya.
Swiss francs, ginagamit siya as safe haven. Yung currencies kasi, madalas it's divided into two. Meron kang safe havens, meron ka naman tinatawag na commodity currencies, no? Yung safe havens, kapag magulong mundo, yan yung lumalakas. Which are US dollar, Swiss francs, Japanese yen. Bakit? US dollar kasi syempre world reserve currency mo yan Ang Swiss francs naman, very stable yung economy nila. Tapos andyan yung karamihan din ng reserves. Di ba? Marami silang pere. So, they have to stabilize yung value ng Swiss francs. Ayaw nilang galawin yan. So, it becomes a safe haven. Yung Japanese yen, medyo technical, pero ginagawang safe haven yan kasi laging baliktad yung policy ng central bank nila. Like for example, ang trabaho ng central bank is to balance the economy, no? So, ang Japan, kadalasan, baliktad ang ekonomiya niyan. So, kanwari, tayong lahat, tumataas ang inflation.
Sa kanila?
Sa kanila, minsan bumababa. Baliktad sila. I don't wanna go too deep on it, pero ganun talaga yung economy nila.
Ever since?
Okay. So, madalas baliktad yung galaw ng central bank nila. Kadalasan, pag lahat ng mga central banks nag-raise ng interest rates, sila yung nagka-cut. So, baliktad sila
Kanina sabi mo, kahit mataas yung presyo ng gold, okay lang to buy gold for those people na may pambili, syempre, no? Pero yung pagbili ng US dollar, because sabi mo nga, isa yan sa mga safe haven, no?
It's okay. I mean, US dollar will always be US dollar. Tago lang siguro. Okay lang. Pero syempre gagalaw yan So I wouldn't really recommend it, honestly. It's a world reserve currency. Okay lang. Pero FE ako sa sa US market ngayon. So,
why? Medyo talaga.
Pabagsak sila. I don't know when, pero it's a wonderful book by Ray Dalio. If you guys can catch that, it's called The Changing World Order. No, It's a book by Ray Dalio. He's like, siya yung may-ari ng number 1 hedge fund sa buong mundo. So, he's a really big guy in finance. Ray Dalio. Tapos, he explained na yung different dynasties that rise and fall. So, he explained yung Dutch Empire, he explained yung British Empire. And now, nandito na tayo sa US dominance. Okay? So, he identified a lot of patterns ng pag-akyat and pagbagsak ng isang economy. And right now, mukhang
we are seeing the fall.
We are seeing the start. It might last long kasi syempre patatagalin ng US yan Tapos ang next forerunner is China. So that's why I'm a little bit iffy with the US dollar. Syempre yung the next 10 years okay pa walang problema. But you know, again, and all all the patterns are there and it points to that. Nakikita na.
Napabagsak na.
Yes. Kaya naman very aggressive na si US. Very common yan for yung mga empires na medyo pababa na. Aggressive na sila dun sa mga kalaban nila. Binabraso yung pansin nyo, di ba? Kunting gera agad.
Yeah.
Braso na kagad.
Next empire will be China. So, dapat ba magtabi na rin tayo? Pera.
Magtabi ka ng gold.
Gold lang talaga.
Magtabi ka ng gold.
Kung kaya mo.
Kasi
kung hindi mo kaya.
Hindi naman natin sigurado na, let's say, the next empire rises or whatever, no? Chinese yuan ba or Chinese renminbi yung gagamitin? Baka hindi. Maybe they can establish a new currency or whatever. Yun yung magiging bagong world currency. Yun yung So,
that is the first time I've heard of that na medyo we are seeing the fall. Kumbaga may mga signs na.
There's cracks.
Oo.
If you take a look at how much US dollars were printed in the past, 10-15 years, a very big chunk, more than 50% ng supply ng dollar ngayon was only printed in the last 10 to 15 years. Pero hindi naman nag-change yung value ng dollar. So parang yung palang mapapaisip ka na eh.
Sa pag-uusapan na natin ito.
Lumalim, pero
wow, napaisip ako doon. So let's wait and see. Babalikan namin kayo after 10 years. But anyway, let's talk about Maharlika Investment Fund.
Okay. I don't know much about it, but I'll try.
Okay. Kasi si Maharlika Investment Fund is parang a wealth reserve, supposedly. Yeah. Parang pinattern natin ito from other countries na meron din tayo dito. Natignan nyo na ba? How is it? How is it doing? Saan niya piniplace yung mga pera na nandun sa loob? I mean, anong say mo dyan sa Maharlika Investment Fund?
Alright. With regards dun sa kung saan nilalagay, I don't know much about it. Hindi ko siya na-research eh. Pero importante siya. For me.
Maharlika Investment Fund?
Kailangan merong fund yung na yung government for it eh.
But some people are criticizing it kasi parang pakiramdam nila, wala daw tayo dapat nun kasi wala naman tayong reserve fund.
We should start having one. I mean, it's never a bad time to have one. I mean, it's a rough start, but it's something.
Kumbaga parang late na tayo.
Late na tayo, but it's better.
Kasi may nangyari in other countries, if I'm not mistaken, Malaysia, na parang
may kalokohang nangyari.
Yes.
Sana mabantayan.
So doon sila natatakot.
So sana mabantayan. No? I mean, I can't guarantee. We can't guarantee any pero yung purpose ng fund, maganda yung purpose niya talaga. Importante yan. I mean, if you look at it 50 to 100 years from now, it might actually save us from a particular crisis or something. Malaking bagay siya. Magkakaroon tayo ng stability.
Never too late to start. A wealth fund for the Philippines. Even if ang laki pa ng utang natin.
Yeah, lahat naman ng bansa, even kahit man US, malaki utang.
So okay lang din na may wealth fund.
Okay lang kahit utang tayo. I mean, magkakautang naman talaga tayo.
Okay. Eto, sabi ko nga kanina, ang dami ng mga tulad mo na nag-explain about trading, financial marketing, pinopromote nila online. Anong responsibility ang meron kayo?
Siguro number one is you really show what it is. No, kumbaga hindi yung empty promises or hindi misleading yung
Sabihin mo yung totoo.
Sabihin mo yung totoo na talagang may risk siya. Kailangan aralin mo siya talaga. Hindi ka konting pindot lang magiging milyonaryo ka na. But is it possible? Yes, it's very possible.
Mga ilang pindot bago maging milyonaryo?
Medyo marami. At the same time, syempre compliance sa local entities, local government, yan ang natin. Importante. Yan.
Okay, lagi mo sinasabi yung phrase na nakita ko to on your Instagram, on your TikTok, build real wealth.
Okay.
Ano bang real wealth for you?
Okay. Gustong-gusto ko yung term na yun kasi it has different meanings per person eh.
Oo, yeah.
Diba? Yung parang if you think about it, diba, you ask yourself the question, ano ba yung wealth sa akin? So magkakaiba eh. So as a trader, you always focus on money, you always focus on growth. Diba? Yun lang eh. Paulit-ulit lang eh. So what is real wealth for you? No? For me, napaisip ako what if trading was taken away from me? No? I mean, knock on wood. I lost the ability to trade or something, no? And it was taken away from me. Anong matitira sa akin, di ba? Parang paisip ako, wait, maghihirap yata ako ulit, di ba? Or I mean, you have to save my money. Anong meron ako? Do I have wealth to support myself? No? So, kumbaga, para sa akin, wealth comes in several forms eh. So, una, dun sa security mo sa sarili mo. So, siguro yung para sa akin, mga negosyo. So, I'm actually, aside from trading, I'm going into entrepreneurship din.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get into that. Di pa ako magaling, but I'm trying my best. May mga ibang negosyo akong tinatayo. I'm having fun. Second and third would be wealth in terms of family. Diba yung pag-uwi mo, masaya ka sa bahay. Di ba? Masaya yung mga taong nakikita ka. Kumbaga, when I trade, I have time for my family. I get to build that kind of wealth as well. No? And lastly, syempre sports science ako. So Health pa rin is also wealth.
Ano bang mas mahalaga para sa mga tao na matutunan nila? Investing or trading?
investing. Para sa akin, kasi yan ang una mo eh. Hindi mo naman unahin yung trading eh.
Hindi ka naman pwede mag-trade nang wala ka pang nai-invest.
Totoo. At saka investment, security mo yan for the future eh. Yung trading, this is a skill that will help you earn money. Okay? Tapos kung kumita ka sa trading mo, invest mo din siya. So, investing is the first skill you need to learn. And that's why, sorry, maiba ako ng konti. I heard a couple of people saying na dapat lahat ng tao matuto mag-trade. Dapat sa school pa lang, tinuturuan na yung mga bata mag-trade.
Do you agree?
No, that's dumb. Bakit? Kasi mataas yung risk eh. Pwede kang matalo eh. Okay? Pero ang kailangan malaman ng mga tao is ano yung mga types of markets that you can put your money in. Kailangan maintindihan nila ano yung bond market.
Yeah.
Maintindihan nila ano yung stock market. Saan mo pwede ilagay yung pera mo. And now, if you really like
na
it,
pwede tumubo.
Pwede
ang alam
tumubo.
lang nila yung normal savings. Hindi pa lahat alam.
Oo, bangko, grabe magbigay, di ba? Ang cute.
Cute nila. Sa totoo lang.
Ang cute eh. So, di ba, maintindihan mo na, okay, aside from the bank, meron palang bonds, no? Okay, may dalawa pala, may government, may corporate bonds, no? After that, you have the stock market, di ba? Ano ba yung pwede mo lagyan? May blue chip ka, meron mga aggressive. So, di ba, you go dun sa mga mutual funds, dami yung pwedeng lagyan eh. So, matutunan mo muna lahat yun, then you go into trading.
You feel like dapat pinag-aaralan sa school yung pagturo sa bata, hindi lang kung paano magtrabaho, kundi paano rin i-invest yung pera.
Yeah.
Kasi parang, I don't know, kung hindi siguro about financing yung course mo, na ituro ba ito sa atin? Even in high school, parang wala namang naturong ganun, right?
At saka, money is always a taboo topic.
Yun
Honestly,
exactly.
Ang weird eh. So, di ba, you talk about it at home, madalas yung parang sinashove off yung mga tanong mo na yun eh. And parents normally
When
don't.
we were young.
Normally, di ba?
Pero ngayon, hindi na.
Hindi na. Mas open na nga ngayon eh. Tapos pagdating sa school, tanong mo din sa teacher mo. Malamang yung teacher mo, baka may problema din.
Or baka hindi rin knowledgeable.
Hindi rin ganun ka-knowledgeable when it comes to it. So, it was always a taboo topic.
Yeah.
Pero sa totoo lang, napakasimple lang naman ng topic eh.
Gaano ka deep dive dapat ang mga eskwelahan or even like the curriculum of DepEd and SHED na tinuturo talaga dapat sa mga bata ang money management?
Dapat in-depth. Kasi it's a lifelong skill eh. Kahit marami tayong nakikilala na ang laki ng kita, pero pag may nangyari doon sa negosyo or sa career nila, lalagapak din. Diba? Pero kung titignan mo, they would have, if they managed it well, okay sana. So it's a very important skill in life na it would save them from a lot of stress in the future. So I think that yung local curriculum natin should deep dive hanggang ano man lang sana. Ano yung mga pwede mong paglagyan ng pera and how to identify yung mga scams from not scams. Kasi yun yung una
Very good point.
Protection mo muna yung pera mo eh. Kahit naman sa industry namin eh, maraming mga nagpo-post as, kahit ako, dami ko mga fake accounts na lumalabas eh. Diba? They message people, magaling ako mag-trade. Bigay ka sa akin ng pera, no? I promise you 10 to 20% per month, no? Yung mga Ponzi schemes. So, yan pa lang, sana ma-identify na yan early on para, hindi naman mahirap explain Ponzi scheme. Even a grade schooler can understand that. So, growing up, gets na kagad nila. Pag may nag-offer sa kanila, hindi, kalokohan yan.
Tsaka alam nila, pag nagtrabaho sila, pag nagkapera sila, kung saan nila ilalagay yung pera nila.
Exactly.
Oo. How young dapat natin tinuturuan yung mga bata?
As early as possible. Kasi once na binigyan mo na ng allowance yan,
dapat alam na nila.
Dapat alam na nila kasi ganun din naman in the real world eh. Di ba? When you start working, di ba, may sahod ka naman, it's roughly the same thing eh. Just on a very small scale lang. So, maintindihan ka agad nila kung ano yan.
Sobrang galing mo pagdating sa trading, pero kung may mga nakikinig sa atin ngayon na ang tanong is, Coach Tan, saan ba dapat talaga ilagay yung pera ko? Is it sa time deposit, government bonds, MP2 pag-ibig? Ito yung mga usual na alam ng tao eh. Anong sasagot mo sa kanila?
Diversify mo, hiwa-hiwalay.
Dapat yung portfolio talaga.
Portfolio, hiwa-hiwalay. So, dapat i-focus mo yung safety muna.
Pero how would you know kung ilang percent? Di ba lalo yung mga iba na nagsisimula pa lang?
Mas mataas yung safe na percentage kesa doon sa aggressive. So sabihin natin yung mga bonds, yung pag-ibig, lahat yan safe yan eh. So you can put a bigger amount there. So, sabihin natin pag may yung kung anong maitabi mo, siguro you put like, I don't know, 30%.
Na okay lang, hindi galawin.
Hindi galawin, lagyan mo 30%. Tapos meron kang konting aggressive, yung aggressive dyan papasok yung mga yung mga stock market, dyan papasok yung...
Trading
pwede. Oo.
Oo.
Hindi kasi masyadong considered as investment yung trading, pero pwede na, sige.
Oo.
So, sabihin natin, mga 20% lagay ka dyan, no? The rest, medyo savings lang talaga muna, yung medyo liquid,
Oo.
build mo muna yung emergency fund mo. So,
Para
yun,
lang mas maintindihan nila na mabilis, ano bang difference ng stock market sa trading?
Okay. It's roughly the same thing.
Yeah.
So, iba lang yung assets na tinitrade kasi sa stock market, you're trading shares ng companies. Okay? So, trading din yun actually.
Coach, natalo ako dyan. Ayoko nang bumalik dyan. Para sa mga natalo sa stock market, may chance pa ba kami ma-redeem yung sarili namin? Char.
Pwede. Maraming similarities yung stock market sa forex market. So, whatever skills you learned could be applied.
Pero ano mas mahirap matutunan? Stock market or trading?
Pareho lang.
Halos the same.
Pareho lang.
Oo. Ang dami namin natutunan sa'yo. Alam mo, nagulat ako, parang more than an hour na yata kami nag-uusap ni Coach Tan. Sa mga Pilipino na nanonood at nakikinig sa atin na gustong umasenso financially, ano bang mas magandang unahin? Ito, savings or investing or magnegosyo?
Yung sinabi mong yun in sequence. So unahin muna yung savings. Okay? Yung importante yan Kunwari may nagkasakit. No? At least may pera ka. Or nawala ka ng trabaho. At least may mga ilang buwan ka mabuhay muna bago ka mamroblema. So that's number 1. Kailangan build mo muna yung savings mo. Okay. Sorry, what was number 2?
Negosyo or investing?
Okay, una yung investing. Investment muna bago negosyo. Kasi if we look at risk, di ba yung negosyo, ilang percent chance na matalo ko dyan? 90%? Malaki, 90%.
No.
So, malaki yung chance na magsara yung negosyo mo. So, doon ka muna sa safe na investment muna. Tapos yung negosyo, yun yung pinakahuli. Kasi yun yung aggressive mo
Ano bang safe na investment?
Bonds, pwedeng, mutual funds is okay. Nakakainis lang yung performance sa stock market natin sa Pilipinas. But, can't really do much with it.
Oo. To those of us watching ngayon, kung merong isang financial lesson na gusto mong maintindihan lahat ng mga Pilipino na for the longest time, hindi pa rin natin natututunan. Ano yun?
I'm gonna go with the Ponzi schemes.
Okay.
You have to be aware of what scams and Ponzi schemes are. Kasi marami ako nakikita na nawawalan ng pera, nawawalan ng savings, or even umuutang ng malaki para maglagay ng pera sa scam. Now, these scams are designed to entice
to lure you.
To lure you. Kasi yan talaga, they're really attacking your psychology. So, kailangan maintindihan mo kung ano yung scam. Na kapag very big yung returns na pinapromise, they promise you like 10 to 20% returns a month. Posible naman talaga yun sa trading, pero hindi guaranteed.
Too good to be true.
Too good to be true. Tapos, ang masakit kasi doon, minsan hindi lang nila pera. So, for example, this is how Ponzi's work meron kang isang Ponzi scheme na sabihin nila, sige, invest ka sa akin ng pera. Tapos, balik ko sa'yo 10%, 20% per month. So, ang mangyari is, okay, sige, lagay ako 100,000 pesos. Tapos, per month, ibabalik talaga nila sa'yo yun. 10,000,
papadamahin
10,000.
ka muna.
Para ramdamin sa'yo. Tapos, after a while, a few months in,
wala na.
Sasabihin muna sa'yo, nakikita mo namang gumagana yung investment natin, di ba? May mga papakita pa yung stats. Grabe, gumagaling pa tayo ngayon. Laki pa ng opportunity. Lagay ka pa ng pera. And pag mag-invite ka pa ng mga kaibigan mo at kapamilya mo na maglagay din sila pera, may commission ka pa. So ikaw naman, in your honest opinion, di ba, and goodwill, sige, parang ang laki ng kinikita ko dito, yung kapatid ko nahihirapan, daling ko dito. No? So you bring a lot of people in.
Sabay-sabay na kayong na-scam.
Sabay-sabay na kayo, biglang aalis na yun. So you see a lot of those sad stories outside. So siguro yun yung pinakaunang
biggest number one financial lesson.
Number
that
one
you
yun.
want them to learn na mag-ingat sa mga scams.
Mag-ingat at protektahan yung hard-earned money nyo. Especially the OFWs.
Sobrang daming mga nagpapanggap na traders din na scammers.
Sobrang dami. And even yung, kanwari kami, yung mga medyo relatively nandun na sa industry, ang daming nagfi-fake ng mga accounts namin. Tapos they even grab our pictures of our family, tapos pinapadala dun sa chat para mapakita na, hindi, ako talaga yung kausap mo. So maraming ganun
So dun sila dapat mag-ingat sa ngayon. Kasi kapag nawala agad yung ipon nyo,
Tsaka yung mga nagpa-flash ng pera sa
ganun. I have learned so much from you. Thank you so much, Coach Tan. Saan kanila pwedeng hanapin? Especially for those people na interesado na sumali sa trading community ninyo.
Well, you can reach out to me sa Facebook. Facebook ko po ay Coach Tan. Okay? So, marami kayong makitang accounts na gano'n. Pero yung may blue checkmark na lang siguro. You can also find me on Instagram, Coach Tan. TikTok, And dun sa sa PAFTI community namin, you can search po yung PAFTI. May website kami, pafti.ph. Actually, andun na lahat ng courses eh.
Let's put
Libre
it
na yun.
here. Lagay natin yan dito sa screen.
Libre na. Pwede na kayo matuto doon. Wala kayo kailangan sign up or whatever. So you can reach me there as well. Tapos we go live sa sa Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday. Tapos we talk about sa kung anong meron sa market.
At pwede ka rin nilang i-invite just in case, no? You wanna they want to invite you for a talk.
Yeah, definitely.
Para matuto yung tao. Not just about trading, also about investing, para makaiwas sa scams and all other stuff na may kinalaman sa trading world. Last question, mga gaano katagal mo pa gagawin itong trading?
Until I die siguro. May mga days siguro na ayaw ko mag-trade. May mga, that's why I'm also developing yung mga EAs and everything. May mga time gusto kong pahinga. Pero babalik din ako eh. So, I think until I grow old.
Kaya babalik ka rin dito para matuto kami sa'yo.
I would love to be here always.
Thank you so much for guesting on the podcast. Sobrang dami naming natutunan and papakawalan ko na siya kasi malapit na mag 3 to 4 p.m. May babantayan na si Coach Stan.
Tatrabaho na ulit ako.
Thank you so much for guesting.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much once again, Coach Tan, straight from the heart.